Okay, back with another team preview. We got the New York Jets, a team that entered last season with such high hopes, but ended 4 plays into the season with Rodgers' torn Achilles. No surprise the Jets finished dead last in EPA per dropback with a combination of Zach Wilson, Trevor Simeon, and Tim Boyle at quarterback. I can't remember a team that has received so much hype and betting support after such a bad season than this Jets team. And it's not just the public fan base either. The market itself agrees. The Jets have the single biggest flip in average point spread of any team, going from an average point spread of all games last season of plus 3.8 points underdogs to now favorites of minus 2.25 points. A lot of publicly available team rating sites have this Jets roster as their best one in 25 years. Not sure what that says because the Jets have had some really bad teams in my lifetime, but their roster, according to ESPN's Mike Clay, has the Jets ranked with the number 2 roster as far as talent. They were the 11th talented roster last season. A 9-point jump is pretty big. This clearly isn't a rebuild year with this roster. It's boom or bust. Win now or never, or however you want to put it. Every move the Jets made this offseason is a win now move. And they really have no choice to win now. Both the GM and head coach are in do or die hot seat spots. I don't have to list all the ways the offense was bad last season. The offense ranked at or near the bottom in every single meaningful metric. The Jets played only 68 snaps last season while having a lead of a touchdown or more, fewest of any team. The offense scored the fewest touchdowns in the league, but the offense also had a serious case of fumbleitis. They fumbled the ball the most of any team and hardly ever recovered the fumbles either, ranking 22nd in fumble recovery rate, which is weird. And not to make excuses or anything for the offense, but they also had the second most adjusted games lost due to injury. Of course, Rodgers was the big one, but then the offensive line was also banged up all season. The O-line had 9 different starting combinations of players each game, but they addressed this problem and really bulked up their O-line in the offseason with solid veteran signings, left tackle Tyron Smith, left guard John Simpson, and then right tackle Morgan Moses. They also used their 11th overall pick on tackle Oli Fashanu. Just a complete overhaul on the offensive line. Now, on the other side, the defense was awesome. And as good as the defense was last season, now having an offense that will give the defense time, put them in better field position situations, gives this team huge upside. All last season, I kept expecting the Jets defense to pack up their bags and give up. They continued to hang on, and a lot of credit to defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. Super impressive how he kept that team together when you consider how bad the offense was. It's so easy for defensive players to lose focus and, have like a not give a fuck attitude when the offense is that bad. But the Jets finished top 5 for the second straight season. They were the most consistent defense last year, too. They held 82% of opposing offenses to an EPA below their season average. 6 of the Jets' 7 wins last season came while their QB had a negative EPA for the game, most for any team in the league. And that right there says alone how good this defense is. It's just loaded, especially in the front. These guys are just studs. Quinnen Williams, Kinlaw, CJ Moses. They got Hassan Reddick. These are durable players, too. You don't see on the injury report every week. Even the secondary, the trio of Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, they only missed a combined 5 games between all 3 of them in the last 2 seasons. There's definitely legit hope for this Jets team this year. It's a team that's built to win. The NFL wants the Jets to be good, too. 6 night games in the first 11 weeks of the season. Jets should start the season strong, too, as they play 3 of their first 4 games against bottom 6 teams, Tennessee, New England, and Denver. The early half of the season is pretty soft, but not ideal, I guess, to start on the road in San Fran on Monday Night Football Week 1, then go on the road again on a short week to Tennessee with back-to-back road games to start the year. Then followed by a Thursday night game at home versus New England. That's a 3-game stretch in 10 days. But it's to start the season. It would be weighted much more difficult if it was like mid to late season. For me, it's super tough to have faith in this Jets team. I've grown up with them just being like a mush or cursed team, and last year strengthened that belief really with all the hype, and it was finished before it started. And it's not like the Jets have been a bad team that's good against the spread either. You know, some teams that are bad, you can make money with them, but the Jets are just 38, 59, and 2 against the spread. That's a 39% hit rate since 2018. They've gone under their win total in 5 of their last 6 seasons, and now we're supposed to expect them to be Super Bowl contenders. You know, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, in the least, if they finish like 5-12 or something. Would I bet on that? No, of course not. I know the roster's stacked, but you know, assuming Rodgers stays on the field, which is a big question in itself, he's going to be 41 in December, coming off an Achilles. And in his last full season, he wasn't great. He finished just 22nd in EPA and success rate. But then again, you know, this Jets team might not even need Rodgers in the offense to be great. I mean, they won games last season while getting a negative EPA performance from their quarterback, which gives this Jets a super high floor. If Rodgers in this offense is just league average, it's probably a clear path to them winning 10 plus games and probably winning the division. And I know some sharp people whose opinion I really respect that they love the Jets this year. They have Breece Hall, Offensive Player of the Year, and Garrett Wilson to an Offensive Player of the Year. I just can't get there myself. You know, I think for some teams, they need to learn how to win first. And despite all this talent, they still have the coach Robert Salah, who I think is just a dummy. He's like a player's coach and a good motivator, but you know, it's not a team I'm betting their win total under or to not make the playoffs. With some teams, I just need to see it first to believe. Now, I'm really behind schedule with these team previews, so I'm making this one really short. I got a good amount of teams left to do. It's a little overwhelming. Going to make a big push before Sunday's games, but that's all I got for this one. Until next time, good luck with your bets.